Let's all laugh at the sugars. Part 8. Ah, yes. They occasionally keep coming by, don't they, providing me with more material with which to entertain you and make them look like the idiots that they are. What is quite interesting is that they really don't have much fortitude, because what tends to happen is they come along and throw the odd comment here or there, which I dismiss, and then they vanish. Why? Well, sometimes it might be because they're bots. In other instances, they are just completely outgunned by me and have no comeback, and so slink away back under the relevant slimy stone from which they once crawled. You might recall there was an individual called Apache who kept having a go. That Apache has been shot down and crashed long ago, never made an appearance since. But without further ado, let's find out which sugars have come our way and the slops of their delinquent minds that spill over. Our first sugar entry is Pia Elizabeth Harland. Stop the mobbing of her. You do realise, Pia, that if she sought the private life that she claims she always wanted and stopped trying to assert control over the populace of the world and stopped managing her facade and stopped grifting for money, people wouldn't have to comment unfavourably about her. But because she does, we continue to comment about her. It is a response. It's not the case that everybody decides, oh, let's all pick on Harry's wife, but rather, we're sick and tired of her behaviours, and also for my part, let's demonstrate her behaviours through the prism of narcissism. Pia continues, you are contributing to division of their relationship. No, we're not. If you'd watched any of my work, which of course, being a sugar, you failed to do so, you would have realised by now that the division of their relationship occurs as a consequence of her narcissism, as I've pointed out so many times, detailing it, explaining it, going through the dynamic and why that occurs, and how I'm able to do that. I know narcissism inside out, because of course I am one. So, Pia, watch some videos and get some education. Gloria Jenkins is next. Whoever produces these vindictive and tacky composite videos and trashy theories, ? Well, you can answer your own question if you weren't so thick and dim-witted, because, surprisingly enough, all over this fucking channel is my name, H.G. Tudor. Knowing the Narcissist, the Ultra, that's who produces them. So for the fact that you have to ask this question shows that not only are you stupid on a level which perhaps has never been witnessed before, but you're actually wholly incompetent when it comes to trying to find out information. You'd say that it's even worse than the tabloid press. Well, you know, even with the tabloid press, they go and investigate things to get information. You don't. You sit there like the blancmange-brained dumbfuck that you are, going, whoever produces the vindictive and tacky composite videos series, before probably cramming another Twinkie into your mouth and then gawping at some pin-sharp crikey vision brain mush television. Because, Gloria, that's what's happened to your brain. Up next, Tandy Milniana. The world is chaos, and all you do is gossiping about the Sussexes. My God, you are so sick. Evidently, you must be right because you put it in capital letters. It would help, of course, that you were able to spell and construct your sentence properly. It isn't gossip. Try watching the videos and listening. You know those two things on the side of your ears? On your head, rather? Those are your ears. Use them, listen. Listen, and you realise it's not gossip. It's the dissection of material to explain narcissism. But you're back again. Nothing else to talk about? Well, actually, again, why not go to the evidence like I always teach people, Tandy? But you won't, because you're lazy, and you're stupid, and you're ignorant. You see, if you actually did look at all my videos, you would see there are 3,500 videos about so many different topics, all associated with narcissism. The different types of narcissist, how we view our victims, the different types of manipulations, why narcissists blow hot and cold, why narcissists don't answer your text messages, do narcissists love their children, do narcissists love pets, why the narcissist behaves this way, why the narcissist behaves in a different way, the dynamic between the narcissist and the particular relevant appliance. There's absolutely shitloads of material So I've got lots to talk about. And I talk about Gwyneth Paltrow and James Corden, arsehole. And I talk about Bolsonaro. And I talk about Putin. And I talk about Johnson. And I talk about Trump and Biden and Depp and Heard and the Smiths. And I talk about Shane Dawson. And I talk about Andrew Tate. And I talk about the online trolls. And I talk about police narcissists. And I analyse video footage. So I talk about all sorts, Tandy. But you don't, because you're stuck in a groove of your own idiocy. Nasty old people might make you sick. Well, I know they smell of wee and cabbage, but what can be done about it? Put a peg on your nose, you idiot. Bring forth some more sugars. Here's Phil Anderton. A typical pompous pommy prick. Well, good alliteration there, Phil, I'll give you that. At least Harry is loyal to his wife. Well, he is, because he's a captive, he's a prisoner. He's brainwashed, unlike the adulterous king and queen consort. It's consort, not concert. But, you know, let's not get in the way of actually using English correctly. I'm assuming that as a consequence of that you're letting the Australians down, ordinarily of good stock and straight talking. You're straight talking, I'll give you that, but you're talking shite. This narrative is being influenced by the toxic palace firm. No, it's not. It's being influenced by my narcissism and my psychopathy, which aids me in the identification of narcissists and talking about them. Personal, also to the point, oh, shut up. No, I shan't. And then we have Cocoa Puff. This idiot's thumbnail was meant to be salacious. The thumbnail that Cocoa Puff is referring to is the one with Tom Bower and Harry and Doria, where I relayed the contents of the interview that took place between Dan Wooten and Tom Bower. So Cocoa Puff writes, this idiot's thumbnail was meant to be salacious. No, it wasn't. It was to include the three people that are mentioned in the video, Tom Bower, Harry, and Doria Ragland. So you clearly don't understand what thumbnails do. Notice he labels it Harry's wife, yet posts his mother-in-law to exploit her brown skin tone in an attempt to incite sensibilities. Stupid MSN. What's Microsoft got to do with it? Anyway, it's labelled Harry's wife because Cocoa Puff, you of short brain cells, have failed to understand that that's what I call Harry's wife, and that the series, which talks about all matters appertaining to Harry's wife, namely her husband and also her mother-in-law, means it's in the Harry's wife series. Duh. And Doria Ragland's included, not because of her brown skin, but she's included because, guess what? She's mentioned in the video. How about that? What an amazing concept that somebody's made. It's almost like you would make a film, isn't it, Cocoa Puff? And you decide it was set in a galaxy a long time ago and far, far away. And in so doing, that in the poster, you would have some of the main people in the film appearing in the poster. Somebody called Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia and Han Solo and Darth Vader. What a revolutionary concept. It's almost like you might write a book and have on the cover of the book something that relates to scenes or people that are in the book, utilising characters. It's a crazy concept, isn't it? But that's how it works, you fucking clown. But once again we see, here comes Cocoa Puff, a member of the Sugars, attempting to find racism where none exists. Another example of the nasty race-baiting behaviours of this group. And it sits there, easy for you all to see. And yet more Sugars coming to beat their tiny fists upon the edifice that is the Ultra. Christy Eichhorn. Sounds like Bower is the narcissist. No. Why are you debasing Harry for waking up from the hell of dysfunctional family? I'm not debasing him, I'm just explaining that he hasn't woken up from the hell of a dysfunctional family. Agreed, there are aspects of that family that are dysfunctional, but Harry hasn't woken up. He's still caught up in a nightmare. Who cares if he smoked pot? Well, Child Protection Services might have something to say with due regard to it. Other people may take a view, given that in many places it is unlawful to do so. Other people won't give a jot about it, but nevertheless it does affect his behaviours, and it's something worth commenting upon because it's representative of the way that he's been treated and the way that he's responding. So that's why we mention it, Christy. Frankie Feline. The obsession and hate that the media and public have created in the UK towards this couple exceeds the paranoia of any drug addict. No, the hatred, again, you're using that word when often it's dislike or disapproval. So you're putting words in other people's mouths, and the dislike and disapproval has been created by one person. And then latterly, by Prince Harry's behaviour, it's been generated by Harry's wife's behaviour. Do you not understand this? Are you so stupid, Frankie Feline, that you can't look at the evidence and make a rational assessment of it? Clearly not. You created a hate vacuum. Well, hang on a second. I thought you said that there was lots of hate created in the UK, and now there's a hate vacuum. So which one is it? You do realise that a vacuum is an absence of something. Frankie Feline, you are terminally stupid. You've created a hate vacuum that will inevitably be the downfall of the monarchy. No, it won't be. The world does not see this couple the way the UK does. Actually, it does. And the negative opinions are not moving in the direction of H&M. They are. Check your hate. No, it's not hatred, it's disapproval. But we know, Frankie Feline, that you are amoeba-like in your intelligence and that you can't grasp it. But it behooves me to point out your idiocy. And it isn't a let's all laugh at the sugars without a word from Victoria Windsor de la Boulay, with her own particular type of word salad, who tells us, I had warned several YouTubers months ago that aside of you perhaps being Sam working for Johnny, no idea who those people are, that you may be Sam Remus working for Harry himself. I'm not working for Harry. This may make more sense as he's connected with Lucas. Aside of Johnny, H. Tudor could claim to be a relative of the Tudors as you have. Within his book, Harry's writer or Harry himself used several of your key phrases to define his own perception of self. For example, he references his magical thinking. Yeah, magical thinking is a phrase that's not been coined by me. It's used by many people. You ought to recognise that he makes use of these terms within a video and analyse whether you or perhaps employer is using this correctly. Additionally, the cattle part of the book with George was severely disturbed. Why? And you ought not to omit important points as this by glossing over them. It illustrates he has issues with empathy. All he did was round up cattle, smoke roll-ups and drink beer and stare at the stars in that particular section of his experience in Australia. But thanks once again for your own peculiar word salad, Victoria. As always, it just leaves everybody having a good laugh at you. I'm H.G. Tudor, and you have been laughing at the sugars.